Namaste. My name is Saurabh Nanda and this is my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for visiting and watching this video. This video is about the Ignite talk that I did in Japan last year. Now, Ignite talks are something similar to TED Talks or 99U talks, but they have a very specific format. So in an Ignite talk, you can only talk for 5 minutes and you only have 20 slides which you can present. So it becomes a very fun and fast-paced presentation, and it does not take a lot of time of the viewers to understand what you want to talk about. So even if it is a difficult concept, it is something that you have to explain in a very few words. Now, Ignite Talks were organized by the Awaji Students International Festival, which was organized by Awaji Youth Federation, which is basically us last year over there. And we wanted to create something unique and something which has never been done on the island of Awaji in Japan. So that is why we created Ignite Talks, and this is an edited version of the Ignite Talks and the questions that followed later. So the topic that I chose for my Ignite Talks was Society 5.0. Now, it's a complicated topic. It's a vision by the Japanese government and the Japan Business Foundation. But towards the end of the entire event, I also had to include another topic, a project that I was doing as part of Awaji Youth Federation over there, which included the Sustainable Development Goals from the UN. So you might see that there's a lot of content packed together in one small presentation. So please watch it, enjoy it, and do provide us your feedback and criticism. Thank you so much.
Up next, we'll be having Saurabh from India, who will be talking to us about the future of society. Saurabh has a background in engineering and also a master's in psychology. He is an educator and a career consultant, and he helped to co-found the Happy Career Project. He is deeply interested in connecting people with accessible information, and he believes that education is at the core of the society moving forward. And today he'll be talking to us about some of the innovations that he feels need to happen within that sphere. Thank you so much.
Hello. The future. We always think about it, right? But what we really need to do is we need to think from another perspective, from her perspective. Because actually she's going to be living in the future. We need to think what she wants in the future society. She definitely wants a lot of technology, right? From your social media, to your healthcare, to your food, to your transportation. She wants everything to be technologically enabled, which makes her life easier. And so we need to think like that. But at the same time, she does not want that technology actually destroys the planet, because she wants the planet to be sustainable. She wants the planet to be green, where industries are not harming the planet, where they're benefiting us and not the opposite. Most importantly, she needs to have the freedom to be human, to do what she wants, to express what she wants, to be able to talk about things that other people might not want her to talk about. And that is the freedom she wants in the future society. All that is actually there in something called Society 5.0, which is Japan's plan to change human society. Japan wants that all these things, technology and the freedom, will be there in the future for us. How did it come about to be? So Kaiden Run, the Japan Business Federation, they came up with this Society 5.0. We were, hunters, then agriculture, then industrial society, information society of today, and now they want the Society 5.0 should be a super smart society. Why should we think about this? Well, we are at a very unique place in history. We can look at the past and we have the technology to design the future. It's very unique because we've never done this before. And that is why we should do it, so that our future is better than what it is today. Now, current society has given us a lot of technologies, data, AI, robotics, and so on and so forth. But all these technologies are just growing. they're not really integrated yet. And that is why we know that they exist, but they do not really help us. Society 5.0 requires a digital transformation, using all these technologies, integrating them in our lives to make our lives better. And that is what will be the real transformation for our society. Apart from that, Society 5.0 aims to be a creative society where people can be creative. But that only comes in when you have the freedom of expression. At the same time, you're included. If you do not feel included in a conversation, your creativity might not be displayed. And only if we have a creative society, our citizens can become all the other factors that Society 5.0 wants it to be. We can be resilient against attacks of natural disasters and terrorist attacks. We can be diverse. We can have problem-solving capabilities. We can empower other people through decentralization. And most importantly, we can save the planet, make it more sustainable for our future generations. And this is what Society 5.0 entails. Now, this is a big dream, right? Not only one nation can solve it. Actually, other countries across the world, Germany, Singapore, Estonia, they're all doing things to achieve similar targets, including the United Nations, which talks about sustainable development goals, which will improve all of our lives by 2030. As an educator, I feel that the entire world is one family. And we cannot only rely on big governments and big organizations to do things for us. We need to start sharing our knowledge with each other. And that is what we're trying to do here on Awaji. You know, 1.1 billion people across the world do not have access to electricity. And one small mechanic from Brazil actually came up with a solution where you do not need electricity, but you can still light up your home. You can have light without electricity. Now, it started in 2002 in Brazil, went on to East Africa, India, Philippines. But the problem was, it took a lot of time. It took 10 years for it to reach everywhere. And still people do not have electricity everywhere, 1.1 billion people. Similarly, people across the world in different countries have solutions which can solve problems for people in different parts of the world. And these solutions, they remain hidden because they cannot be shared. They are not shared. And that is what we're trying to do here. A bunch of us, innovators from across the world with different backgrounds, we are coming together to make sure that we are able to make connections to make solutions for people. And that is called Sesame. Now, what is Sesame? Sesame stands for SDGs Entrepreneurship Solutions on Awaji plus me. That means you. Together, we will be able to help grassroots people come together, create a global community where people can share solutions with each other and then make a better future. The only question remains, are you going to be part of this movement to make a better society or not? So come together and let's make a better future. Thank you so much.
So my question is for Saurabh. In this society 5.0, a lot of things are changing in the world. And one thing that we as humanity have to take care of is about human relations. The technology is certainly is giving one of the most important values of humanity, that is like human relations between each other. How we can, because I just knew by today that you have a major in psychology. That explains a lot. How do we deal with loneliness in this society that is making us be more apart from the people that's right next to us?
Wow. Thank you so much for that question. Yes, I have a master's in psychology and I did an internship in one of the biggest hospitals in India in the Department of Psychiatry. And we saw a lot of patients, a lot of cases with such problems, with loneliness and so on and so forth. I come from India. It's a very big country population-wise, and we don't have enough professionals to actually provide therapy or provide assistance to people facing anxiety, depression, and so on. That is why in India, a lot of people felt the same way. And we have at least 5 websites in India, at least 5, wherein you can actually go chat anonymously about your issues. Is it working? It's working for some people. So what I'm trying to say is, the future of society depends on both technology and solving human problems. Even though India is a big country, we are full of people, but we just don't feel like talking to them. So we need somebody else to assist us in overcoming a problem. So technology, I personally believe, will play a major role in this. Right now, people are anonymously chatting with psychologists and therapists online. But in the future, I think a lot of these things will be managed with the help of data and artificial intelligence. Because towards the end of the day, we see the core issues for almost all human beings because of our lifestyle changes remains the same. It's about loneliness because of our lifestyle choices. So a lot of those problems can be addressed with the help of data, with the help of machine learning, with the help of artificial intelligence. And that's what I see definitely happening. Thank you.
For Saurabh, as you mentioned, right now with the rise of the internet, we have lots of information, but the problem is that because of the huge amount of information, we don't have time to process it in individual level. And I think, well, from my background, that the next evolution to this is finding a way to process information as fast as possible. Recently, Elon Musk unveiled his new project, Neuralink, where they are finding a way to connect the human brain to the internet, to download and share information. Do you think this will lead into the next revolution that will make consuming information really easy and fast?
Thank you so much. That's a very, very wonderful question, actually. Data science really came into being around 6-7 years ago, all right? And everyone talked about data science becoming the next career thing, and everyone will have jobs, and about data science was the next thing. But since last year, we've actually seen a decline in the number of data science jobs because it has been automated. So what I'm trying to say is information processing is one of the biggest challenges in the information age today. But we are going in a direction where a lot of information is being processed in a lot of different ways. The biggest example is quantum computing. Coming to Neuralink, our brain is one of the most complicated machines on the planet. And it has the capacity of processing a lot of information than a lot of physical computers available in the world today. Now, communicating that information to the brain through Neuralink is definitely a frontier which we will cross, because there's a lot of information out there and there's a lot of processing power in here. There's a bridge we need to make between that information and our brain. So information from outside will be automated, will be processed very easily, and the most relevant will be given to us. The only challenge that we're facing right now is understanding and trying to figure out what information is relevant for the brain and what information is not relevant for the brain. Very simple example, you go to Facebook, sometimes you see a lot of ads about e-commerce products on different websites, from Amazon, from Rakuten, and so on and so forth. Sometimes you don't even need those products, but they're still shown to you, because they've still not figured out whether you need this product or not. So that is the biggest challenge that we're facing right now. So I hope that answers your question. Thank you so much.